Volume is not there.
Can't hear the sound.
I'm just sharing. Hi, everyone. So, welcome to our next session on AWS series. And we'll just wait for more people to join us. Within a 1 or 2 minutes, we'll start. But for all the people who are here for the first time with us, we'll just brief you where are we. So, we all are together in this AWS Cloud Practitioner session. We have identified all of you are with us. Some of you have been a part of our cohort group. Some of you have been attending the master classes. And maybe some of you have just joined this class for the first time to see what is happening here. So we intend to see that all of you finish the completion of the certification of AWS along with the NASSCOM certificate, which is available on our platform. And move from there upwards. So the idea is that all of you complete the certification, and all the people who completed before September 17th, we also intend to felicitate the top 100 people between cloud certification and acquiring data, the 2 cohorts that we are running. Whoever does the NASSCOM certifications will be felicitated on 17th of September. So before I would request Nupur to talk about what we covered so far, what are we going to cover today? And also Nupur is going to talk about assessment today for all the people so that you can move to taking these, assessment on the platform. So Nupur, over to you.
Thank you, Anjana. So yes, we have covered various things till now. Like we have discussed about the compute services, this EC2 instances. We have seen some demonstration related to that, how we can launch EC2 instance using the Windows. Then we have talked about the VPC, that is a virtual private cloud, and that we use to actually give more security to our servers and the databases. So that also we have talked about that how we can provide the securities, what actually the network access control list is there, what security groups are there, what actually the subnetting is there. If I need to connect my on-premises data center, then how I can connect my on-premises data centers to AWS Cloud. That's also we talked about. Then comes in the last session, we have seen S3. That is the simple storage service, and that we use to store the data. And that is an object level storage service, which stores the data as you provide that. And it has various features, like they provide us with the object versioning. With that, it provides you with the object deletion as well, encryption. Then they have various number of classes available. You can select the classes depending on whatever your requirement is. Like if you require the very much frequently accessible, then they have options available. Then if you want to store the data in an archive or in a backup format, then they have a cost efficient option available, like the S3 archive and deep archive is available. So there are various classes available depending on your requirement, depending on for what purpose you are using that storage, you can use that. So these are some of the things which we have talked about. Even we have seen how we can configure the S3 bucket. So we have learned about what is the concept of a bucket is, and how we can launch the bucket, how we can delete the bucket, how we can upload the objects in the bucket, and how we can enable versioning as well. Even we have hosted the static website using the S3. So these are some of the things which we have seen so far. Now today we will be seeing some more services like there is one IAM service available. There is a well architect framework available. Then we have some shared data frameworks. Then some of the more services which you will be, I think you must have seen in the future scale modules. So they have some 11, 12 modules, and in that they have covered various services. So I will be talking about a little more services about them as well. And today we will be talking about assessment. So we will be going with some of the questions. So I will be requesting you all to participate in that. And please let me know answers as well. And after that, 10 minutes quiz also I have conducted. So it's like a game. So I would request everyone to participate in that game. It's like a game on AWS only. So far, whatever you have studied, whatever I have actually told you, so it will be related to that only. And I think you will enjoy that as well. So quickly, I will share my screen and let's start with the session. Okay, so I will share my full screen so that it will be visible to you all. Okay, so this is these slides which I have prepared. So don't worry, these materials you will be able to get in a future scale. So the same material which you are studying in the modules in the future scales, the same material I have taken from there only. Okay, so I think AWS Skill Builder, you must have created the login credentials and you are viewing all the modules from there. So I have taken the material from there only. So it's not a new material which I am giving to you. This material has been already available to you. Okay. So let's see for service that is the shared. Yeah. So this is the shared responsibility model. And I think the shared responsibility is something like we can say the AWS is responsible for some of the things. What happened when you launch an EC2 instance? So you configure that, okay, my EC2 instance should contain this operating system. My EC2 instance should have this much amount of CPU, this much amount of memory, and it should be launched. It should have some public IP address as well. It should be launched in the particular VPC. So we have various settings available and we take those settings as well. So some of the things we are responsible, like we need to configure the security group. We need to mention that which port number should be open, which number should be allowed to get access to the EC2 instance. So all these things we configure. Apart from that, what the AWS actually keep in the consideration, or which is the part of AWS for which AWS is responsible, that is, we can say that where that if a server is, I don't know. So that is the responsibility of AWS, that yes, that server is properly working. It is in an isolated place that is not being accessible by everyone. Like if we talk about the data centers. So data centers are the place where our servers are there. So a room is there, a hall, or we can say a place is there, a large place where all the servers are installed. And on those servers, we have a small server which is being given to us. But still, that data center is maintained by AWS. The security of the data center is also maintained by the AWS. So these are the things which actually AWS is responsible for. So AWS is also responsible for some of the things. And as a customer, we are using the AWS environment. So we are also responsible for some of the things. So in combined, we are sharing the responsibility. Okay. Like for example, I can say a real life example, like you are also having responsibility that yes, you need to complete all the 11 modules. I'm also having a responsibility that yes, every week for 2 days, I also need to have some of the material. I need to discuss some of the services with you so that you may get a more information about all these things. Apart from those things, those modules, whatever extra information I can give, if I am able to solve your issues, if I am able to solve your doubts. So that responsibility is me. So we both are simultaneously combinedly working for achieving the certifications. So you are also having responsibility, I'm also having responsibility. So we both are sharing the responsibility. That is what shared responsibility model is all about. Just a minute. So the shared responsibility model is actually divided into two. So we talk about customer responsibility. Customer means me. I'm the customer because I'm using the AWS services. I'm making my account, I'm using the services, maybe possible some EC2 instance I have launched. I have used some VPC services, maybe possible I have launched some RDS server, S3 service. So I'm using the services which is being provided by AWS. So I'm responsible, I'm a customer responsibility. If I talk about my responsibility, then that is actually one term is known as security in the cloud. Because I'm using the cloud, I'm responsible for security in the cloud. Whatever services I'm using, I'm responsible for providing the security of those services. If I'm making any application, like I have my application available, the front end is there and my EC2 instance is there. I have my database servers, both are connected with one another. The website is running on EC2 instance and a number of users are using those websites. So what will happen? Maybe possible some attacker is there that wants to hack my website or wants to gain any useful information, maybe possible my client's information. So various things are there. They can get access to that. They can do any kind of mis malicious activity. They can perform any mischief. So anything they can do with that data. So I am responsible for providing the security to that servers. I have launched the server. I have created the application. So that is my responsibility because I have launched the server. Apart from that, I need to see that, yes, I am available with other services that works on the security part. So I need to configure that. I need to attach that. I need to monitor that they are working properly or not. So all these are the things which has been responsibility for a customer. Then comes the AWS responsibility. So AWS responsibility means AWS is responsible for some of the services, like where the data centers are there, where they need to create the data centers. The data centers are being created at a place which is being not very much frequently accessible, that is not a disaster prone. So they need to search for a location that is not disaster prone and that is very much accessible. They are, that is an isolated place. So they need to search, they need to provide the security to them. Like if we say that where the data center is located, I also don't know. That is not been mentioned by AWS anywhere. You can't find that AWS mentioned that, yes, where the data centers are located. So they have not disclosed that where the data centers are located. So they are located, they have some data centers available, but they will not let you know that where these data centers are. So security of the cloud, that means the security which is being given to the cloud, this for that AWS is also responsible. Like where the data centers are, what kind of securities are there. If any server goes down, then they need to come up with a solution. They need to replace the servers. They need to maintain the servers. They need to do the servicing. So all these things they need to do. So that is what the shared responsibility is all about. Then this is what I was talking about, like the regions, availability zones, edge location, hardware infrastructures, like storage, database, where the storage is, we don't know. We only use the S3 service. Where my data is storing at a physical device, I don't know. That is responsibility of AWS. And if that data is stored in any of the physical device, then that physical device security is up to AWS. The security like data transmission, like from my S3, I'm transferring data to somebody else S3, then the transferring of data is responsibility of mine, that yes, that I need to maintain, I need to see that, yes, I need to maintain the security of that data, the transferring of data. If I will be uploading the data, then that is my responsibility, that yes, I need to maintain the security, that should not get lost, that should not get hack in between. So all these things are responsibility of mine. But apart from that, managing the availability zone, managing the data centers, managing the hardware resources, compute resources, servers, storage, databases. So all these things are responsibility of AWS. AWS will provide you with these softwares as well. Like for example, we are using Lambda. So Lambda is also a service which provide us with a compute service only. What we do, we select the programming language. Like they have PHP, they have Java, Python, they have Go, Ruby. So various programming language are being supported by them. But we need to select that which programming language we will be using. What we will do, we will write only the code. Apart from that, everything is being maintained by the AWS. So in that case, they need to provide the software that yes, the PHP programming will be running on this software. The .NET programming will be running on this software. Now what will we need to do? We need to run this code, and after that we need to generate the output. So they will provide you with a interface in which you will be writing your code, you will be running your code. So that interface has been maintained by AWS. So sometimes software, depending on service which you have availed from AWS, AWS will be responsible for that security and maintenance of that services. Okay. So there are some of
there are two questions which I thought
yes.
probably are referring the slide or not. So maybe you should just take a look at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was going with the questions only. So what are the edge locations here? Okay. So if we talk about the edge location, then we use the CloudFront, and the CloudFront is basically the service which is used for content delivery of whatever content you need to deliver with a low latency. Like for example, I have my server in the Mumbai region, and somebody from US region, UK region, they are accessing that. So they will experience very much low latency, more latency. Why? Because the servers are in Mumbai and they are accessing that server from very long distance. So the request will be going from the long distance, responses will be going over there. So it will take time. So what I can do, I can use the edge locations. Edge locations are basically the location which keep the cache of your websites, and they deliver the content more efficiently with a less latency to them. So whenever anybody access your servers, access your websites, so they will be able to get the response in a less amount of time, and they will be experiencing with a good websites, and they will be having a good experience. So for that, we can use the edge locations. So edge locations are basically used for keeping your data or providing the data with a low latency. Then comes in AWS part of this slide. I'm not able to understand this question, Amit. Sorry.
Does he want to say it, or you want to say it, Amit? We can have you unmute. If you can raise your hand, then I can unmute you, and perhaps you can ask your question in a more clear fashion. Amit Gupta. Yeah, okay. So I'm just allowing you to talk. You can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
yes, you are.
Thank you. Thanks for unmuting me. Yeah, Nupur, can you please let us know more that you just told that the edge locations will keep the cache to deliver or to make the latency lesser. So how they are keeping that cache? Are the edge locations are something something different, specifically allocated memories? How they keep those cache of the website?
Actually, what happened, this edge locations are basically used with the CloudFront only. So when we use the CloudFront with that, the edge locations are available. They will ask you to select which edge location you need to avail, which edge location need to keep all these data. What happened, these edge locations are being available with some of the memories and some of the things. They keep the data for some 7 days maximum. And if you want to say that, yes, less than that, every time, every 24 hours, your page should get, your website should get updated in your edge location. So that option is available. That is basically delivering your content to the end users. Like I'm there, I need to access, okay, let's understand this with a simple example. Sometimes what happen, we visit our website, like maybe possible the Amazon website, the shopping website, or we can say any website like GeoMart, or any website related to the Amazon Prime. Okay, so these are some of the website I have not visited so far. Like for example, consider that I have not visited all these websites. So what will happen? First time when I will be visiting this website, it will take some 5 seconds to load at my end, at my web browser. Okay, but next time when I will be visiting that website, then it will be loaded for me in few seconds, like for example in 1 second. Have you noticed that anytime? I think you must have noticed that. Anyone?
Yes, I think that happens. Next
Yes.
time, immediately, mostly if immediately or after, just after some time, if you are accessing the same page, it will be loaded faster.
Okay, I think your voice is break.
No,
I'm not.
I think he agreed to what you said, Nupur. I think Amit got the answer. Amit, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, Anjana. Thank you.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
Thank you, Nupur.
No problem. Can see some more questions. Yeah.
There
Okay,
is one
so
question. Yeah. How
how we
AWS does innovation in such a service, such services?
Okay, so what happened when they innovate some of these services, like they have innovated the S3 service. So I'm taking the example very simple. Like S3 is a storage service. What happened? Some of the customers actually contacted them, and they actually told them that yes, this storage service is very helpful. We can keep our data in like whatever data I need to give, like archiving data, backup data, or whatever data, like I need to access the data, then also I can keep that. That is publicly accessible. But there is one problem, like I have a terabytes or petabytes of data, and I need to transfer that petabyte of data to the S3. So how I can do? The Snow family don't have that family, that device available that can transfer my petabyte of data. Then they come up with an Snow mobile approach, and they called a snowball, like a truck they have introduced, and using that truck they can transfer the petabyte of a data to the AWS. So first they innovate some of these services, they understand the customers, they understand what their requirements are, then their feedbacks they consider, and according to that they come up with a advanced version, or some new features they add to their services, and they come up with a innovation of some different services. Yeah, physical data transfer. In the last session, I have talked about some of these Snow families. I don't remember if you have joined it that or not, but yeah, these are three Snow families which is available: Snow Cone, Snowball, and Snow Mobile. Snow Mobile is something like a truck which has been available, which transfer the petabyte of a data from your data centers to AWS, and that will transfer your data to S3 only. So for transferring the large amount of a data, we can have a Snow Mobile, and for transferring some less small amount of a data. So they have some different ranges available, at this range amount. If this much range data you need to transfer, then you can use this snowball or snow cone. So like this, they have availability, and you can select according to how much amount of data you need to transfer, and then you can avail order. Actually, you need to order these things from AWS, and AWS will deliver at your location, and you can actually transfer the data. Okay. So let's talk about the IAM. So AWS IAM is the identity and access management service. This is basically used to provide the access. Like, for example, we have our big organization. Like, I am having a company. I have created my root account. I have created my own AWS account. Now I have various people, like 6 to 7 people are working in my company. So what will happen? The one person is handling all the accounts. The second person is handling all the HR related things, that whose interviews should be scheduled, what all the things they need to do. The third person is a test responsible for testing. The fourth person is responsible for development. Fifth person is responsible for handling all the management, like the testing team and the development team, so that manager is there. So like this, all the roles are there. So what we need to do, HR need to have some of the access, like who all employees are there in my company. The HR should also know who all employees are there in the company, what all their roles are there, what is the pay. They tell these things to the accountant, accounts department. Then comes the developer. So developer is not concerned about these things, that who all there in the company, who is the responsible for what all things. They only need to do that. Yes, they need to develop a software. They need to make a programming software for using which programming language. So they need to have some access. So like this, every person will be given some different access. Like the testing team, they will only require to know that, okay, the EC2 instances there, the S3 is there, they are being connected to one another, or every data is being saved in the S3. I need to search for some of the data that, and then I can search in S3. So like this, the testing team will be working. So they need to know which application is deployed, and in that application, what all services they have used. So they won't do any kind of changes. So they will only provide it with the read permission. Then the developers, they will be provided with read and write permission. Both the permissions are given. The manager will also given only the read permission. The HR team will be given only the read permission, because they are not supposed to do anything related to the services. They only want that, yes, the particular person is working on this particular projects. So they need to have only the information. So they are not concerned about that, how these services are working, what all applications are being deployed. So they are not concerned. So they have only given the read rights. So they can see that, okay, these employees are there, these employees are having these kind of accessibility. There will be one person who will be given a little bit more access, because that person will be responsible for giving the access to the other users, giving the access to the other employee. Like for seventh person came XYZ, and that has been appointed, and that has been told that from tomorrow you can join the company. So what will happen? They need to provide the access. They need to create the user that, okay, Nupur is joining from tomorrow. So I need to give Nupur access, and what all access they should be given, in which team she will be working. So that access I need to give that, okay, only the EC2 instance access I need to give, only the S3 access I need to give, maybe possible only the database access I need to give. So depending on what kind of a role you are having, they will be providing the access to you. Otherwise, what will happen, if I will be given all the access, all the rights, then maybe possible I will misuse that rights. So that issue may come. Maybe possible I am new and I may delete the server. So they will be facing the issue. The server will not be available to the user, and they will be facing the business losses. So that's why they will be providing the access to the person depending on their roles. So for that, they have identity and access management that allows you to give the role on these basis of the user, that, okay, these users are there, they need to give their user ID and password. With that, you can club all the users that, okay, the HR team is there, I will be writing the HR, and in HR team, they have 5 persons. So they will be grouped in one, and they will be given the access that, okay, this kind of an access they will be providing. Even we can have multi-factor authentication, like whatever password they are being provided, that should be secure, that should have some 10 characters. They should have the alphabet as well, capital letter. They have some special characters. They should have some numbers. So like this, there are various things. I will show you those things as well. I will go to my management console. I will click on IAM. It may take some few seconds. So like this, the IAM is there, and some of the things are there. So if I will be clicking on user, add user. So I can click create one new user for this. So I can write, okay. So I need to create Nupur as a user. Okay. Then what kind of access I need to give? So the password. So password using the programmatical access, that means using any CLI or SDK, that is the software development kit. Through that, they will be provided the access, or using the management console. So right now I'm taking on management console only. So they have the password available. Like auto-generated password will be there, or the customized password will be there. So let's see the customized password only. So test @123. Okay. So this is what the password we will be keeping. Then user must create a new password at a next sign in. So when I will be given the credential to the user that your user name is Nupur and your password is test @123. So after first login, they can actually create the new password. So if you want that, then you can take on this. Otherwise, you can untick as well. So at the time when you will be logging in, first login, then they will not allow you to create a new password. Then the next. So what all things you want? Like you want to add this particular user, that means you want to add Nupur to some group, then you can add that. But because I have not created any group till now, so you can create the group as well. Then you can have some permissions as well. If you want to have some already existing user permission, like maybe possible the Ruchi is already working in my company, and she's been working in a particular group. So I need to provide all the permission which I have given to Ruchi. The same permission I need to give to Nupur. So that also available, because I have not configured anything. So it is not showing me. Otherwise, it would have shown the name Ruchi and the group also. And I can tick on that, and I can attach all the policies, all the permissions which was attached on Ruchi will be automatically attached on Nupur as well. And there are some existing attached policies, like for what purpose she is using this. Like if we talk about S3, then S3 related read-only permission you need to give. S3, sorry, full access permission you need to give. So there are various permissions that is already been defined. So you can use those permission, and you can give that permission to that particular user. Okay, so I'm able to see AWS directory is a little bit different thing. So that's not the thing which we can combine over here. One user has stopped an EC2 instance. So how would I know which end user has done? So for that, we have various other services, like you must have heard about the Cloud Trail, and that records all the information related to what all things are going on, and they record the log files. So log files are available, and they have various information about that. So you can configure that, and using that information, you will be able to know that which user has stopped the instance, or which user has actually accessed the instance, or has done any changes to any of these services.
You've seen this question, right? Access logs.
Yes. So access log is there. That means they have information that, okay, this user has logged in, like Nupur has logged in, and what service she has used. That service ID will be there. At what time Nupur has logged in, at what services changes she has performed, like EC2's changes have been performed. So these log files are available. That is basically the database, we can say, or the information is available. We can relate that with a history, like whatever browsing history is there. So that is similar to that only. So log file is related to browsing history, and which keeps the information about what all things are there. So those log files will help you to know that which user has stopped the EC2 instance, or which user was working on that instance. Any updation are being done, so that also can be recorded in that. So these are the things so which is available. Like I can say that S3 full access should be there. Then next I will do. So what all the key tags are there, that also I can do if I want. That is an optional phase. So I have skipped that. Then they will be showing me that, okay, the username is Nupur. They have some access with the management console only using the password. Then the what thing is being provided, the Amazon S3 full access is being provided to Nupur. Now, if I will be creating on user, then it will create a user for me. Okay. So like this, I can create. So like this, I will click on create user. So see, a Nupur is being created. When you go to the dashboard of this IAM service, and I will click on this IAM service. Okay. So see, over here, you are able to see that one user is there. Now, if I will click on that, that will be showing the Nupur is there. And I have not added Nupur in any of the groups. So that it is showing none. And I have not done any other thing. So only the password I have given. So that is available to me. If I will click on this, they will show me that what kind of an access I have been provided to Nupur. So if I have what permission I have set, that is the Amazon S3 full access I have given to Nupur. So this permission is there. So like this, we can create number of user accounts and number of access point we can give to them. We will be getting today's and always session recordings. So this was all about the IAM, and let's go back. Okay, so I will go to some of the other things, like because these are things you will be get access from the modules, and you will be able to know various things related to this. So I think we can go with the question session, and we will be able to know various questions related to that as well. So just give me a second. I will open that slides as well, so that okay. So these assessment questions are there, like which pillar of AWS will architected framework focuses on using computing resources in a way that meet system requirements. So answer from your side.
You can raise your hand or put it on chat. Or put it on chat, perhaps.
Okay, so
Option
let's
B. I see
option
some
B. Okay.
somebody's, yeah. Praveen, I think.
Okay, more answers. Okay, so C, B, A. Okay, so let me just give you the answer. So answer is B, performance efficiency. Let me just take you with the explanation of this as well. So yeah. So if we talk about well-architect framework, then we have some 5 pillars of the well-architect framework. That is the operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, and cost optimization. So if we talk about the operational excellence, then it focuses on monitoring the system. That system is working properly or not, it is running properly or not, any kind of problem is there, then we can resolve that, so that we will be able to deliver the best to the customer. So that is come in the operational excellence. Then we talk about the security. Then security is nothing but the how we can protect our data. That means it talks about the data integrity, how we can protect our system, how we can encrypt the data, when the data is on rest. That means when my data is being kept on S3, at that time also I can encrypt the data. At the time when data is being transmitting, at that time also I can encrypt the data. Then we talk about the reliability. Then it focuses on recovery planning. Then what happened? Sometimes my region is down, my availability is down, my maybe possible any disaster happened. So that disaster, how I can recover from that disaster, I need to do the planning for that also. So that also come in well architected framework pillar only. So reliability is how we can recover, how fast we can recover from that, how fast we can recover my data from that disaster, that any kind of issue may come. So how fast we can recover, that comes in the reliability. If we talk about the performance efficiency, then it comes in how effectively my compute services are working. They are delivering what they need to deliver or not. That means the servers are healthy, they are working properly, they are being available to the users, they are providing the output or the response to the user or not. Then comes cost optimization. Then cost optimization means how where we are spending, how we can reduce the cost. If we are spending more on some of the services which is not being used, then we can cut down that. We can actually terminate those services and we can cut short the cost. So cost optimization means how we can optimize our cost, how we can reduce the cost. We need to manage that where we are spending actually. So these are all the pillars of well-architect framework. So if we talk about this, then after knowing this, I think the answer must be clear that why it is performance efficiency. Okay, so then comes the next question. Just a minute, I will do it full screen as well. So this is the next question. Which of the below mentioned services is equivalent to hosting virtual servers on on-premises locations? Okay, so answers are there. C. Okay, so I can see everybody is on C. So yes, the answer is correct. The answer is C. If we talk about launching and hosting the virtual server, then it is Amazon EC2, AWS EC2, we can say. Okay, so yes, the answer is correct. I will show you the answer. The answer is C. I can see that the answer is correct. That means you are getting what we are learning over here. And even you are preparing on your own as well. So modules are clear. That means. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so this is the next question. For 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 6 seconds, a client operate an Amazon Linux EC2 instance on demand. Then how long will the customer will be charged? Okay, the answer is B. Everyone, answer is B. Okay, so yes, the answer is B. When we talk about the Linux instances, then what happened? Yes. Any question? Okay. So when we talk about the Linux instances, then what happened? The amount we spend in using, like if we talk about minutes, the seconds. So they will charge you on the basis of seconds only, the minutes only. They will not do the round figure that generally happens in Windows. If you use for 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 6 seconds, then they will be charging related to 3 hours or related to 4 hours. So that will, they generally charge you on basis of 4 hours only. But in the Linux instances, they will be charging on the second basis. So that's why they will be considering 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 6 seconds. Yes, if it was Windows, then answer will change and it will be, answer will be D, that will be the 4 hours. Because the Windows don't charge on the second basis, so that's why. So the answer will change. Then comes which statement best describe an availability zone. Any answers? Okay, you can take time and you can let me know the answers. A. Okay. Some are saying C, some are saying A. Okay. So A is a separated geographical location with multiple locations that are isolated from each other. And if we talk about C, a fully isolated portion of AWS global infrastructure. Okay. So answer will be A. Okay, let me explore what answer is. The answer is C. C. The answer is C, a fully isolated portion of AWS global infrastructure. Okay. If we talk about the separate geographical location with multiple locations that are isolated from each other, I think that is the regions. And if we talk about the servers, the server from which Amazon CloudFront gets your file, that is the origin. And I don't think that anybody told the answer number B, but still the answer number B is not being considered. So B option is like a site that Amazon CloudFront uses to cache the copy of content for fast delivery to the user at any location, that is the edge location. So that's why the answer will be C. Okay. Yes. So the answer was not A, but the answer was C, a fully isolated portion of AWS global infrastructure. Then which VPC component inbounds control the inbound and outbound traffic for Amazon EC2 instance? Answer is B. Okay. Answer is C. Okay. Okay, so those who are saying the answer is D, then they are correct, the security group. Why? Because if we talk about the security group, then security group is responsible for the control of the inbound and outbound traffic of the EC2 instance, because it works on the instance level. If we talk about the internet gateway is the gateway which is used to connect your instance to the public internet. So for that, we use the internet gateway. And if we talk about the subnets are dividing your VPC into the small parts. That means you will isolate the similar type of the resources in one subnet and the similar type of resources in the other subnet. So we can create the subnets in the VPCs for isolating, for grouping the similar type of the resources. And if we talk about the NACL, that is the network access control list, then NACL is something like which works on the subnet level. That means all the instances, or if we talk about any other RDS servers, if we talk about any databases, any other servers. So all these are things which is being configured inside the subnet, that will be or for that the NACL will work. So NACL work on the subnet level. So it will not work on only one instance. It will work on number of instance, number of servers. So that's why the answer will be security group over here. Okay. So like this explanations are also being available, that NACL is a virtual firewall that control inbound and outbound traffic at the subnet level. So it works on the subnet level. So I think the answer must be clear. So that's why the answer will be D, not A, no B, no C. For the earlier question, answer will be D, that is the security. Okay. Then comes the next question. Which action can you perform in Amazon CloudFront? D. Deliver content to the customers through a global network of edge locations. Okay. Okay, so yeah, quickly I will let you know the answer is D only. So yes, deliver the content to the customers through a global network of edge location. When we talk about the CloudFront, then CloudFront is delivering the content using the edge location. If we talk about the provisioning resources by using the programming language, then that is not the CloudFront, that is the outpost services. Yes, so that is the output services we are using. No, that is the AWS Cloud Formation. And if we talk about the run infrastructures in an hybrid cloud approach, that is the outpost services. There is one more example, one more option was available, that is the provision and isolated section of AWS Cloud to launch the resources in the virtual private network that you define. So that is the VPC. So that is also not available. So there are various options available. You need to find, for what you need to do, you need to eliminate the options. You should not find the correct option. You should eliminate the options. Like first, if you talk about the programming language, so no, CloudFront is not related to programming language, so we can eliminate that. If we talk about run infrastructure in an hybrid cloud approach, so no, CloudFront don't run the infrastructure in an hybrid cloud approach, so we can eliminate that. So like this, you should eliminate the option and then you should go with the correct options. Okay, so this was all questions.
So
Okay.
Nupur, you're acha. No problem. Sorry.
Sorry, the last question I will be taking, what is the cloud formation? So cloud formation is basically the service which is being used. What happened, we have various infrastructures available and we need to configure like EC2 instance, S3 and all the applications we need to deploy. Then we can use the cloud formation that provides you with some of the already made applications like already available infrastructure applications. You can deploy that using the cloud formation. So there are some of the services we can be available with, so that we can use. Just a minute, give me a second. I will show you more information about that as well with the cloud formation. I think that video may make you more clear about. Just a minute. Will share my screen again because I have not shared the screen with the sound. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So
Infrastructure. Maybe you're using runbooks and scripts to create and manage everything. Version controlling and keeping track of changes can be challenging. Things get even harder when you need to replicate your entire production stack multiple times for development and testing purposes. But provisioning an infrastructure stack directly from a collection of scripts isn't simple. Wouldn't it be great if you could create and manage your infrastructure and application stack in a controlled and predictable way? Introducing AWS CloudFormation. CloudFormation provisions and manages stacks of AWS resources based on templates you create to model your infrastructure architecture. You can manage anything, from a single Amazon EC2 instance to a complex multi-tier, multi-region application. CloudFormation can be used to define simple things like an Amazon VPC subnet, as well as provisioning services such as AWS OpsWorks or AWS Elastic Beanstalk. It's easy to get started with CloudFormation. You simply create a template, which is a JSON file that serves as a blueprint to define the configuration of all the AWS resources that make up your infrastructure and application stack. Or you can select a sample pre-built template that CloudFormation provides for commonly used architectures, such as a LAMP stack running on Amazon EC2 and Amazon RDS. Next, you just upload your template to CloudFormation. You can also select parameters such as the number of instances or instance type if necessary. Then CloudFormation will provision and configure your AWS resource stack. You can update your CloudFormation stack at any time by uploading a modified template through the AWS Management Console, command line, or SDK.
okay, so I hope by this video you must be clear that what actually the cloud formation is.
We have two people who have raised their hand. So Saroj and Nikhil. Saroj, I'm just allowing you to talk. Is there any particular question that you have? Please unmute yourself and ask. Saroj?
Okay.
So Nikhil, would you like to ask a question? No, so I think they forgot to lower their hand.
No problem. So yeah, I can see only 5 minutes are left. So if more time would be there, then I would have one quiz also. So game is also there. That I took more time in these questions and explaining the services. So if you have more time, then we can go with the game. If not, then it's okay.
We have 4 or 5 minutes. How long is your game?
It's of 10 questions only. No.
Yeah, so some people are like tips for clearing certifications. So I think
Okay. Okay, so tips for clearing the certification. There is not a hard and fast tips, but yes, I would suggest that read every services very carefully and note down the keywords of their services. Like if we talk about the well architect framework, then they have some pillars available. If we talk about the S3, then that is an object level storage service. So sometimes what happen if we read the questions, then by reading the questions also, you may get the answer that yes, they are talking about the object level storage, then we can go with the S3. They are talking about the archiving the data, then we can go with the S3 archive or storage. So they sometimes the answer is hidden in the questions only. So read the question twice and then give the answers and try to eliminate the options. Don't try to select the correct option. Try to eliminate the option. That is the best practice which I would suggest you should use, which I have used while I was cracking my exam. So when I was preparing, I used to eliminate the options and then I need to go with the correct answer.
a lot of
And
people
yes,
were also there for your game. So if the
okay.
game is in the direction of, learning something new and maybe prepared for the exam, that will be nice.
Yes, they may get information how the questions may come in the exam. So if you want, I can start the quiz. So just give me a second. I will start that quiz as
One
well.
question is coming. Is it mostly theory or practical also? I think theory only, right?
It's a theory based only. It's not a practical based. So this is very much initial level. And what happened, sometimes if you are not from the technical background, then you may face some issue, but it's not that it's very difficult. So I would suggest, just give me a second, I will show my screen again. So yeah, I would suggest that try to read everything twice and you will get to know. Even they have mentioned various things using the real life examples as well. So you will be able to get more information. You will be able to connect with that real life examples also. So yes, so that will help you. Okay, so I have shared this game in the game link in the chat box. So I would request you to click on that game link. You need to enter your name and then you need to log in. So yeah, after entering the name, that will allow you to come inside this. And as soon as I will be able to see you, I will start this game.
It's nice. I can.
Yeah, Anjana, even you can also join this game if you want.
I've joined. I can hear the pop pop sound. It's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm starting the game. I think everyone has joined it. How many of you are there? Okay. Okay, so I'm starting the game. Okay, last 4 minutes. Last 2 minutes. So you can complete the quiz game. Okay, right now I can see Nikhil is on the first position, second SR, and third Negi. Okay, so that's great.
Has Nikhil done the certification? Nikhil, have you done the certification is my first question. So please do it. Why haven't you done it? The first thing you should do after now is go and do the certification, complete it.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, last 1 minute, I will be stopping this quiz and you won't be able to access this. So yeah, I would request you to please complete this game in 1 minute. Last 1 minute. Okay, so I'm ending the quiz, the game now. So these are the winners, which we can say Nikhil, SR, and Negi. So that's great. And yes, I know that you got a very less time. Otherwise, everybody would be the winner of the game. So yeah, sorry because we were not having that much time and I was late. I was explaining some of the services. That's why. So I hope you enjoyed the game as well. Yeah, over to you, Anjana.
Sorry,
Anjana,
I didn't know it's Sangeeta from our team who is second. Okay. I like, okay, I was about to say, why have you not done certification? I'm going to hold on. So, yeah.
We can ask her also. I haven't.
Okay, so someone was saying the presentation. So the presentation almost contain all the questions actually. All the material which was already available in the skill builder. Sorry. But if you want that questions slide, so I will share with Anjana. Anjana will flow to with you all as well. Okay.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, Nupur. And thank you everyone for being here on Friday evening. I mean, at least the game justified the evening. So, I mean, besides the learning, serious learners are here. So we expect all of you to complete the certification, which is in line after this, and share with us as soon as possible so that we can, felicitate you on 17th. And we thank you, Nupur, for being with us. And we will see if we can get Nupur again for some sessions in the future.
Yeah, then I will try to get some more
Games.
games like this and some more activities as well.
Yeah.
because I get very less time, so I was not able to share more about practicals. So that's why, yeah. But next time I will try to share more practicals and more games like this instead.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nupur. And Smita, would you like to say something? Because this is our last session on AWS.
Yeah, so see, we can connect again. Nupur may not be there, so we may not have answers to your technical questions, but I'm sure we will relay the questions and get answers from Nupur offline. So please make sure you do some reading up and attempt. This weekend is a good weekend to attempt the mock and the certification. Next Saturday morning is when we are meeting our CEO. So we want maximum people from this group to be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Nupur. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Nupur.
Nupur.
Okay.
Great
Bye.
Everybody, a very good evening
We
and
all
a happy
enjoyed it.
weekend.
See you
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
very soon. Bye bye. And yes, all the best for your certifications.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.